There we go. Let's
Hi
see.
there, I'm Josh Van Veld. I'm the Director of Operations here at Xavient. Today I'm going to be giving you an update about our studio and our projects. I think most of you know that last week we launched the Culling.
Firstly, he's got that mic which detects his voice, so as soon as he stops talking, you don't hear anything. I always find that very irritating. It's not a massive thing, but it's really weird for my ears because it's like you hear sound and it's just silence.
2 and that launch was not successful. It's been difficult for us to wrap our heads around the entire situation. It's been a lot to take in, but we've been having a lot of discussions. And one thing that has emerged very clearly for us is that the Culling 2 was not a game that you asked for,
No, it
and it's
wasn't.
not the game that you expect as a worthy successor to the Culling.
No,
So
it's
with
just
that in
like
mind, we've
PUBG HQ.
decided that the best course of action is to take that game down off of store shelves. So this week we'll be in contact with Valve, Sony, and Microsoft to close those
Massive.
stores and to make sure
He is
that
sad.
those of
Of
you who
course he
bought the
is.
game get refunds.
The
It's
thing
definitely
is,
been
though, the thing is, you can't take people for complete face value. Like, not everyone is genuine. They could have been trying to pull a fast one with Culling 2. You don't know. Like, it's the I'm sorry thing from bloody BP. Like what South Park took himself. It's good though if they are going back to Culling 1, and it's good that they've realised that this like weird game that they designed were nothing like the Culling, like at all. You know? So you can't take people from complete face value, Nazichu. Not everyone is genuine, sadly.
difficult to
Not saying that he isn't genuine though, but you can't do that with people.
deal with the launch of the Culling 2, but it's been valuable for us in terms of making us look inward and look backward and to see how we got here as a studio and as a team. We're bonded by the desire to move forward and make progress, and so we've been looking for ways forward. And what's been interesting is that the solutions that we've come up with are the same types of things that you suggested to us when we told you that we were in a tough spot and we were thinking about what to do
Multiple
next.
times, yeah.
So I can announce right now that one of the things that we will do moving forward is to go back to the culling day one. And I think that that's an area that we owe you an apology,
There's
because
some
when we
massive,
thought back to
massive
day one of
potential
the
with it.
culling and how we handled that launch, we realized that we changed too
So
much too
much.
fast, and that there was something very unique and very special about the personality of that game that we were too eager to modify, to balance, to retune. And so we took a game that you guys loved and we changed it out from under you.
In my opinion, this is my opinion. They changed the culling to fit pads because it used to be quite complex, and there were no chance you could do what you could do on mouse and keyboard with it. You had to manage your stamina. You had to, you could cancel your attacks. You could bait attacks. There were mind games with a melee. You couldn't do all that on a pad. So they dumbed it down further and further and further, and it happened when they released it to console. When they said it's coming to console, that's when all that happened. Seriously, that's when I noticed it. So I honestly feel it was something to do with that. I might be wrong though. That's just like my
And I want to
observation.
apologize for that. I also want to apologize because when we got to the end of our early access run, you weren't happy with the state of the game. We weren't happy with our relationship with the community. We weren't happy with how you felt about the game. We weren't happy with the game ourselves, but we didn't see a path forward. So we turned it off and moved on to something else. And in retrospect, that was a mistake.
Yeah, and no one even knew it was coming.
What we see is that there's tremendous value in the day one build of the culling. And you've been asking for it, and it's been hard for us to accept that that's something that we need to put the work into to get to you, but we've decided it's time. So I can announce that as of this week, the culling in its day one form, and by that I mean literally the build that we launched back in March of 2016, is coming to our test servers. So if you're a PC player who already owns the game, you're going to have the opportunity.
So when it first came out, it wasn't in its ideal form. I don't know why they're not going to the patch just before they announced the consoles. In my opinion, the patch just before, when they announced it were coming to consoles, just before that, maybe like a week or so, maybe about a month, like before that, that's when it was at its most perfect. If they go to the very start, I know there were some really weird issues. Like I think Golden Arm were broken as fuck, right? Like you could kill someone with like one weapon by throwing it. So I think going to the very start's the wrong thing. I think they should have listened to what people were saying. They were saying before Big House, and Big House was close to where it were going towards console, and they made the biggest changes to Melee. But I think even before that, when they were the stamina, where you had to micromanage the stamina. But I think they're going back to day one, and this time they're going to actually listen, maybe? I'm not sure. But kind of interesting.
Opportunity to download for free the Culling Day 1. You can play that game.
Where?
You can check it out. You're going to have the opportunity to servers. So if you're a PC player who already owns the game,
you already have to own the game.
You're going to have the opportunity to download for free the Culling Day 1. You can play that game, you can check it out, you can experience it again. And we've played it as a team, and it's been a really wonderful experience. We've gotten to get to know the game in its original form again.
Way better than
I can tell you it's a lot of fun, and we're excited to give it to you. The other part of our announcement is that we're putting the Culling back into development. And the Culling in its day one form is going to remain on the test servers for as long as the game's in development to serve as a reference point for all of us to look back to. Our immediate goal for the Culling in terms of our first update is to take the October 2017 build that's live right now and to modify it so that every aspect of the gameplay matches the day one build.
Interesting. See, that's sounding better. Golden Arm's still gonna be a bit crazy, but they're basically saying that everything they've added, they're keeping everything they added, but they're going back to the fundamentals, the foundation, what they created. That's what I wanted to kind of hear, because I didn't want them going all like they're all going back to some broken shit. Because I 100% remember Golden Arm. I think you could kill someone in with like one hit or something with that perk, so there was no reason not to use it. But dude, I'm definitely gonna check this out. I am. Even that they completely pulled such a dick move with the Culling 2, I can respect that they've made this business decision where they realize what they've done and they will go back. I just hope that it's real, you know? I hope that it's real passion and it isn't like, oh, we need to do this because we didn't make any money on Culling 2. That's the thing what scares me. Because if they made Culling on Culling 2, would they have cared? And that's what scares me. You know? Culling streams are back. We'll see how much fun we have with it. It was really fun.
Back, all the airdrops are coming back. Combat goes back to its day one.
Thank God, it was so much better.
Every aspect of the gameplay will be what you remember.
You like some of you guys might not have even known the Culling, but the Culling, it used to have a mind game where you could go for an attack and then you could go for a block, or you could go for an attack, cancel it, and then go for a push. And it was like a mind game where you guessed that they were going to go for a swing, so you went for the block. But then they could bait that and go for the push, which would push your block. And it had this mind game, right? And then they turned it into you just mash. You just mash at each other. It was the weirdest fucking thing ever. No, not like chivalry. No. So basically, like, if I go for a swing, you keep hold of block to block my swing. But I can cancel that swing and push your block. If I push your block, I get a free swing. You see? That's how it works. But you could also... You could... be blocking. They go for the they go for the swing. They think you're going to block. As they go for the swing, you do a small attack because there's different levels of attack. How long you charge. You go for a small attack. You hit their push because you knew that they were baiting the strong attack into a push to push your block. That's what it used to be, and then it turned into mash, 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 mash. Can't cancel attacks. Smash, mash. It was so fucking weird what they did to it.
And that's going to be our platform.
No, it's not. It's nothing like Frona. Why can't anyone have? I swear to God.
Moving forward,
this generation, man.
You are going to be skeptical that we're going to be.
PUBG is Fortnite. The Culling is Frona.
We learned a great deal from having the Culling in development and from working on the sequel. and we're ready to apply those lessons to a new process. We also know that we need an audience to come with this game. I think a lot of you are going to come back, but we need new blood as well. And to that end,
That were a bit cocky. That were a bit cocky, man. That was a bit cocky, man.
we also know that we need an audience to come with
This part now. That was a bit cocky.
this game. I think a lot of you are going to come back, but we need new blood
I think a lot of you are going to come back. Yeah, it's a bit cocky, man.
as well. And to that end, I'm announcing that we're putting the culling into free to play when we launch that update.
After what they did with Culling 2.
We think that that'll be a new opportunity for the game to thrive.
Bit
I think
cheeky.
one of the unexpected things that we learned over the course of the past week is how much love so many of you still have for the culling, and the fact that so many of you were holding out hope that we would give you what you were looking for. And I think that with this day one build and this new focus on taking the culling back to day one and starting on a fresh foot in a free-to-play mode, I think that we're going to be able to give you what you're looking for. We certainly can't do it without you. We need you to trust us, and we know that that trust needs to be earned once.
It's big that they need us to trust them after what they did with the Culling 2. Like, it is definitely kind of big that. What I'm gonna do is I'll probably check it out and I'll see what kind of patches they're doing and what kind of the focus is, and then they will be able to gain my trust that way. I'm very happy that trust is earned and lost in seconds. Yeah, I'm very happy that they're going back to the Culling 1. Everyone said it. I even said this to you. What did I say in True Talks today? I said what they should do is literally what they're saying here. This is literally what I said they should do, and is the best business move for them, and they're fucking doing it.
Step at a time. We hope that these first couple of steps are going to be clearly the right move, and we look forward to working with you and finding out where the culling is going in the future. So the day one servers will be coming this week, and we'll have more news to share soon about our plans. So I want to thank you for your time, and from everybody here at Xavient, we're looking forward to working on the culling again.
Well then. Well then. Interesting. I'm definitely going to check it out because the culling was so fun, that game. You could do some crazy stuff on it. Rip T, I remember him. Yeah, there were some insane players on that game. The skill level did get quite high at one point, which made a lot of people find difficulty with the game. Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. When do you reckon it's coming out? When do you think it's coming out? Anyone have an idea? Who am I playing now as well? Oh, I'm a killer.